What's going on, folks? My name is Sean Arnold and welcome to Double Freedom, a show dedicated to the brave protectors of Super Earth and her children. And if you ain't got a clue what I'm talking about Helldivers, a great game on PlayStation that you should go and buy right now. On today's episode, I'm going to be going through my top 5 tips for beginners and experts alike, just to help you get through the game and some of the things which I discovered. At number 5, we've got experiment. Experimentation is so important in this game. The game's about having fun, first and foremost. Just go out, enjoy yourself, try different things, try different stratagems, try different weapons, and find what you really suits your style. But experiment as much as possible. Try not to pigeonhole yourself into doing the same thing all the time, because there are going to become situations later on in harder difficulties where you will be expected to have certain equipment to get jobs done more efficiently. This is especially true in boss battles, where there are certain strategies which people like to use quite often, which if you don't have, you're going to be the odd one out and unable to contribute effectively towards your team. So experiment as much as possible and discover those hidden parts of your arsenal. Also, it's very important to notice that sometimes different weapons have different uses, or different stratagems have different uses. So it's important to try as many things as possible so you can be as familiar with them all as you can. Tip number 4, early inputs. Here's a neat little trick which I discovered. I found that if you are waiting for your stratagem's cooldown, you can put in your buttons early when you see them counting down from 3, 2 to 1. If you put in your buttons during that time, then as soon as it hits 1 and the stratagem is ready, you can use it pretty much immediately. You'll go straight into your hand and you can use it straight away. And it's just a quick way to speed yourself up and to be more efficient with how you manage your stratagem's cooldowns. Tip number 3, please upgrade your yellow stratagems. The yellow stratagems are the basic stratagems. They are ones which are mission specific. You don't always use them except for the reinforced one, which is always with you. Now, while they might not seem the most flashy and you might be really eager to get onto doing all your blue stratagems or your red and green stratagems, please upgrade your yellow ones first, especially when you get to higher levels. I know it might not seem a lot, but the difference between having your time bomb or your hell bomb at 25 seconds countdown to 15 seconds countdown is a huge difference. It's only 10 seconds, but it makes a huge difference when you're on a higher level. So please upgrade those and get those cooldowns as quick as possible and those durations down as short as possible. Tip number 2, run! I know, it's really satisfying in this game to shoot enemies in the face. But just because you can shoot enemies in the face doesn't mean you always should. One of the biggest culprits, or one of the biggest reasons why missions take way longer than they should, is because people stop and hang around too much to shoot everything that's on screen. And you don't need to. Even in missions where you have a target or a set number of enemies you must kill, you usually will get them along the way anyway. Your Helldiver in its most basic form is faster than most enemies that you will encounter, and you can outrun them pretty much all except for a few, like the dogs and the cyborgs and a couple of others. What's the best thing to do, personally in my opinion, is just to run to your next objective and fight them at your next objective whilst you're completing it. It keeps the pace going fast, it gets your completion time down, it gets you more experience points. Tip number 1 is self-reinforce. If there's one thing which I want everyone who watches this video to keep in mind, or to learn, or just to be doing every single time you play this game, it's self-reinforcing. In Helldivers, you're going to die a lot. That's just a fact. You're going to get used to dying quite a bit. And there's going to become a point in time when you can start to recognize when you're about to die and there's nothing you can do about it. If you feel you're about to die, put in the buttons straight away for reinforce, and as soon as your character dies, you'll drop it on the ground and you'll bring yourself back to life. It's a really useful trick to do in boss battles and harder missions where your team might just suddenly be overwhelmed and you might be the last person standing and you're gonna die, but yet you can bring your whole team back because you used a reinforce just at the same time you died. It's really useful. Also, it means your allies don't have to stop what they're doing to bring you back to life. Do be aware, however, if there is a reinforce already active and you try to self-reinforce yourself, it won't work. There can only be one reinforce active at a time. So guys, those are my top 5 tips for Helldivers. Hopefully this has been helpful to you a little bit or not. Please stay tuned to other episodes of Double Freedom from my channel, where I'll be just going into different strategies and doing some gameplay commentaries on one of my favourite games of the year. So, thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully it's been helpful. If it has, share it with your friends, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all of that jazz. And without further ado, much love, take care, and goodbye.